What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent. There were no shows over the weekend. We do this Monday through Friday, but I believe Friday, I can't remember Friday. I think Friday was good, but over the weekend, I know NBA and college basketball, perfect. Didn't lose a game. Football, I just got whooped up and down. I think I won 4-11 or something like that. So football was terrible. College basketball and NBA was perfect. Um, but ironically, I had my best bet of the NFL Week 16 tonight, and I put it in last week. So um, I think my most confident bet will be better. But Vino, it's good to be back with you. How's everything going with you?
Things are good. Saturday, it's funny you mentioned it because there are some times on this show where, you use the phrase shoot or shoot.
Hmm.
And Saturday, I just was like, you know what? Four sports going on. Generally, I'll take the card and carve it down a little bit because you don't want to give too much action. But now we took a shot on Saturday. It was 12-3 or
Nice.
12-2 in a 14 play day all the way until that Oregon game, which I had Oregon and somehow James Madison, can do no wrong, 99-yard drive to end the game. But that aside, was a really, really solid 12-4 Saturday, followed up by a 3-2 yesterday. However, I will gripe just a little bit. 5% played Detroit Lions team total over 28.5, scored 2 touchdowns on the final drive, both called back for PI. Which hurt a little bit, but it was still a 3-2 day and made profits. So it was a great weekend. 6-1 college football last 7. So we're storming through these bowl games pretty well too. Been good. No complaints around here other than, you know, when you're winning that much, Skee, you want to win everything. You know what I mean? You're like, damn, Oregon. Why do you want to wreck my 12-2 by making it 12-3?
Yeah, what was up with
That
the end
was
of that Detroit game? They making up new rules, or I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah, I was, as it had no business being in that good of a position anyway, because Detroit was lousy all game long. But once they get you there and they score a touchdown, I was like, oh my God. And then
Right.
they call it back, and then they score it again, and then they call it back. And I'm like, somebody get that referee's name because I don't like him too much.
Yeah, stop playing with our emotions and our wallets,
Right.
man. All right, let's get to actionable info for today. We have 7 NBA games, and we do have a Monday night football game. Start off with Hornets and Cavaliers. This one opened up -9. It still looks like 9.5. Total open 234.5. That's gone all the way up as high as 239.5. As far as injuries, you have Kalkbrenner, Sexton, and Grant Williams out for Cleveland. Still no Struess, Nance, or Mobley. You have Porter, Mitchell, and Merrill all probable. It is the first game of a back-to-back for these Hornets. We do have a bit of rest for these Cavaliers. I think 2 days off for them. And the Cavs did lose to this Hornets team earlier in the season, so a chance to get a little bit of revenge for them. And the Cavaliers, if I'm not mistaken, I'm just going to double check. They did lose their last game as well. Yeah, they lost to the Bulls. I mean, they lost twice in a row. They lost 3 in a row, as a matter of fact. So, Vino, it does stand out to me that the Cavaliers have lost 3 in a row and are laying nearly double digits. But I'm not going to try to be too smart here. I mean, I keep saying this Cavs team, they just stink right now. Like, they don't play any defense. And I always say if you can't trust you to get stops, how can I expect you to win by big margin? They're not winning at all. So it's absolutely not. I, I would I would go Hornets plus or stay out the way as far as the side is concerned. How do you feel about it, Vino?
Yeah, I mean the Cavs, they've rapidly climbed the hell no list. 5-15 against the spread last 20. There's just no way. And they're generally a favorite in every single game they play. They don't win, they don't cover, they don't do much of anything except give up points. I mean, if you want to look at Charlotte's team total, I wouldn't be opposed to that. The Bulls, even with that quick turnaround, I don't know, we'll put revenge in quotation marks, but it was a quick turnaround off of a loss to the same team. And the Bulls just came out and destroyed them again, even worse the second time. So I can't get anywhere near the Cavaliers in this game. For them at this point in time, if I'm going to get involved, it's probably going to be toward a total, although their totals are extremely high priced because odds makers have caught on. They score, they don't defend. It's really a crazy situation. I think we talked a little bit about it last week, real quick, that they had come out and said, the general manager came out and said that the only untouchables on this team are Mitchell and Mobley. Other than that, call us and tell us who you want, and we'll see if we can work it out. So it's a far cry from what it was last year with Cleveland. I don't know what the issue is, but it's been going on for a while. Skee 5-15, last 20 against the spread is it's a sign of being far overvalued in the market. So you can't play a team that's overvalued. And B, it's a sign that they're just eroding from within somehow, some way. No play here unless you were to choose some form of total. I don't think I could talk you off any angle. Charlotte team total, I'm just trying to look really fast while we're still on this game, is 114.5. I don't know. The Cavs give up 115 pretty easily nowadays. We'll see how it goes, but I probably won't be involved.
Yeah, that could be a way to look at it as well. Just fade that Cavs defense. I can definitely get behind that. Next game, we will go Pacers and Cavs. Open up -10. It's up to 12 for the Celtics. And total hasn't really moved too much there. You have McConnell, Neesmith, Shepard, and Toppin out. Walsh, questionable. Tatum out. So for this one here, Rob Veno, both teams. Oh no, I'm sorry. Pacers are the ones on the first of a back-to-back. It's the third and fourth nights for the Celtics. Celtics. Well, I'll start with this. I would like Walsh to be in there if I'm going to make a bet on the under, but you are missing some pace off the bench with TJ McConnell out in this game. Neither one of these teams has been playing with much pace lately. Pulling up the last 5 games, 27th and 22nd. I mean, I was just talking from the top of my head, but yeah, not much pace for both of these teams. Pacers a bottom 10 offensive rated team in that same span. I don't know, Vino. I'm thinking we get a slower, lower scoring game here. Can you talk me off and under?
It's hard to, because I know you often say that, and I agree with it, that when the defense performs bad, I guess what I say is coaches like to fix what went wrong the prior time. And Indiana gave up like a 44-point first quarter the other day. And I'm sure Rick Carlisle's none too pleased. So I would look for a little more focus on Indiana's defensive end. I guess that's where I'm trying to get with all these comparisons. But I do believe Indiana will try and play a little better defense. And then to that, I'll add, again, because we talk every day on this, Monday through Friday on this show, but I know that you were expecting a little bit of regression in Boston Celtics shooting, right? They were shooting like crazy
Right.
for a few games. And it did come back to earth a little bit last game. And I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back to earth a little bit more here. I mean, you just can't shoot as good as they have been shooting. In fact, as I look now, 3 of the last 4 from 3-point range, Boston is 31% or worse. And so if Indiana brings us a little bit of defense to the table here, and like you say, there's some offense missing from this one, I could totally see under in this game. Again, let's go back to an earlier little conversation we had where you told me Jaylen Brown's a liar, Rob Veno, and there is no fast pace to this team. So, and the statistics back it up. So I would probably look under as well. Thinking from the Indiana perspective that what happened last game, 44-point first quarters, you got to straighten those things out. So I think Indiana will be a little bit more defensive minded tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, we kind of agreeing on that one. I think I have to push the button on that under in that game. Let's keep going down the list. The injury report is crazy today. So I honestly, my favorite bet, like I said, I made my bet last week for the NFL, the 5%, but I was taking my time a little bit with NBA Today because it's just an injury report landmine. So that's why I'm saying, I'm thinking about taking this and taking that because I wanted to wait a little bit today. But Mavs and Pelicans, it did open -2, and it looks like a pick 'em right now. Total open 237. It's as high as 240.5. As far as the injuries are concerned, Murray's out for the Pelicans, so they're pretty healthy. He's been out. For Dallas, though, Cooper Flag is questionable. Max Christie's questionable. Clay is probable. Flag, he's been playing kind of good lately, Rob. You know that? I mean, if
Yeah.
you'd have told me earlier in the season, I might not have cared. But he's been playing all right lately. Both teams are on the front of a back to back here. Um, the thing for me is you could be missing Flag for one. And the Pelicans they've been making me money. I've been backing them every single game and they just continue to cover. They've covered 9 out of 10 games. I know it's just a little bit different here because you're asking them to actually win. They have won 4 of their last 5. Um, I don't know. I like what I'm seeing from the Pelicans right now. I think they're playing with energy. They're playing well. They're even playing defense. Like the only way I can look in this game is to back the Pelicans. As far as the total, I'll leave that to Rob Veno. But honestly, Pelicans been playing so fast. Now I'm thinking about it. It's probably only the over. If I'm thinking it's going to be a Pelicans game, they're at home, probably control the pace. I would agree with the market. I'll say Pelicans and over in this game. How do you feel about it, Rob Veno?
Yeah, I would agree with the market. Pelicans, to your point, 9-3 over the total last 12. Their team total 9-3 to the over last 12. I think we broke down the numbers the other day about their straight up record um, as opposed to their ATS record. Weren't winning games, but certainly covering games, and that continued on through 4 straight covers for them now, 5 straight covers, excuse me, and they're winning games all of a sudden. So the Dallas side, when I look at it, and Cooper Flag, I think I saw right before we came on that he was at shoot around today. Whether or not that upgrades him from questionable or not, I'm not sure, but he was at shoot around. And to your point, he's been playing so well lately. I don't think a guy like that, if there's any way he can play, I think he probably will. So maybe Cooper Flag does play in this game. And Dallas has certainly been a team geared toward overs this season. Faster pace, less defense. AD involved now, but Gafford and Lively not. So there's less rim protection for this team overall. I don't know. These New Orleans games, and I've been successful last couple. You've been betting them sidewise. I've actually been on a few overs here where they've paid off. Just they're playing really well and fast, and Dallas is kind of doing the same. So to me, the market moved this one total wise the correct way. I wouldn't want to single out either team here. I think I want them both. Should be a little back and forth. And I'm trying to remember, Skee. I should look this up, but I know because we've said it before. This is a New Orleans team that Dallas laid 8.5 to earlier in the season when New Orleans was on a back-to-back, and New Orleans came in and beat them. And I don't have their earlier season results right in front of me. I'm trying to look up whether those were overs or
Well,
not, but they were. Were they overs?
you mean that game?
Well, they played back-to-backs, right?
Yeah,
In
yeah, I
New
have both of
Orleans.
those games here. They One of them went under by 1 point, and the other one was another under.
So, and they were a while ago, right? They got to be at
Yeah.
least
I
way,
mean,
way.
one was on November 5th, the other one was on November 21st. But this Pelicans team, probably since right after that, or I don't know, they just been playing, looking different to me.
Yeah, and
I
if
mean,
we predicate it on current form is way different than what it was then, right? I mean, I think that both these teams fast scoring. I could agree with over 240.5.
all right. I like it. I like what we're talking about in this game. Shout out to Garth Drake with the $5 dono. Says he likes Pelicans team total over 118.5. Mavs have allowed 120 plus in 4 of their last 5 road games. Definitely can get involved with that or endorse that. Appreciate you, Garth Drake. Next game, we'll go Jazz and Nuggets. It opened 15.5 actually and came down as low as 13. I'm seeing out there. The total, different story, went from 244.5 as high as 250.5. And for the injury report, yeah, Vino, 250.5. You heard that right. No errors. Marketing is questionable. Kevin Love is out. Niang is out. For Denver, Peyton Watson is questionable. There's no Braun and no Gordon. I mean, you're missing a lot of points without marketing for sure. These are two teams who play absolutely no defense, Rob. Like this should just be like it's gonna be worse than open gym, open run. Like it's gonna be just get whatever you want at the rim, take as many threes as you want. Just who can outscore who? I feel like so. I understand why the total is where it's at. Can we still bet it? Uh, Man, and to what we said, I mean, we talked about Denver's hit 122 plus in so many games, right? Not 122 anymore, Rob Veno.
That's right.
131 and a half. So it's just tough. I mean, I think Denver can blow them out, though. I do. I disagree with the line coming down. Unless you tell me marketing is playing, then I can understand. But other than that, Denver over. I don't know. I don't know. Denver 131 and a half. I'm gonna pass it to you. I'm gonna take a look at what Utah's been giving up, but it seems kind of steep, probably.
Yeah, that's why I laughed immediately when you said 251.5, but I was thinking more towards a team total, which, it's been an automatic mechanical play for me to just get the Denver team total over, but they might have priced me out here. 131.5 is a lot to ask. I mean, yeah, it's all got to go right, basically. I mean, it has been for Denver, but I don't know that I want to back that necessarily. I don't mind the 122 and a halves, the 124 and a halves. But when we get up here, the odds makers are just saying they're stopping me from coming to the windows.
They
Like,
said
put the
enough.
big, here comes Veno, put the stop sign up, 131 and a half. And yeah, you can't, it makes you think twice, three times, etc. I don't know that I could get there. Do you want to disqualify Utah? Their offense entirely and not get to the full game total? I'm not sure. 251 is a ton. I mean, I can't play it. Let's put it this way: I can't play it under. I'm hesitant to play it over in either
let me
form, either
let
Denver
me let me
team.
read this, Ravino.
Go ahead.
127 to 128. That's 255. 135 to 143. That's what
That's
278.
270.
140 to 133. 273. 130 to 126. I mean,
Yeah,
they're getting there.
they're all
Getting
there.
there.
Can we get Utah to give us enough without marketing? I guess would be the next
Yeah,
question.
it's
But
tough. Last two games they had, but it's a tough ass.
you just like I say, I can't play under. Hesitant to play over. Last thing I'll say real quick, you covered it a second ago, but I will also thank Garth Drake for the donation. He's in on our college basketball show every morning donating too. So obviously all of us at Wager Talk appreciate you, Garth, coming through and watching and taking care of us in that way. Appreciate it.
100%. People looking at these, and Garth too, looking at Joker triple double.
Yeah, I mean, who's going to stop him?
Yeah, I
Honestly.
mean, hard to argue. Hard to argue for sure. KC says, "Man, how are these scores even possible?" Once Utah has George, I think they should help the total.
He had a big night the other night. I think he had 38.
He's been scoring a lot. He's definitely been scoring a lot. It's a one-way ticket. One-way ticket, man. Over or nothing. Nuggets or nothing for me. All right. Move over to another big point spread game, at least. OKC opened 16 and a half, down to 15 and a half. Total went up from 227 and a half as high as 230 and a half. And let me actually refresh these injuries just to make sure. Man, for this game, this one is just CVS style receipt. Uh yeah, Clark, Edie, Jerome, Morant, Pippen, Small, Williams, everybody out for the Grizzlies. Do they even have anybody coming off the bench tonight? I don't know, Rob. For OKC, Wiggins is questionable. Caruso, Zhang, Hardenstein, Holmgren, Topic, Williams, Everybody's out. Nobody wants to play tonight, Rob. Uh, I don't know. Uh, I can't lay. I mean, I don't know if I can bet this game. Maybe I go with a first quarter over. I mean, you are missing a lot of rim protection. No Hardenstein, no Holmgren, no Edie, no Clark. No, I mean, that's the only way I can think to bet this game. Marcus still did push it up full game. I do think there will be points. The problem I have is if OKC is blowing them out, I don't know. Is there enough in the tank? Like, how many guys are on the bench tonight? That's what I worry about. So I'm thinking points early, Rob. How do you view Memphis and OKC?
Well, can you can you get to the window 3 times, assuming that you did against Minnesota the other night? I'm not sure that you did. I know we talked about it on the show, but can you get to the window 3 times in a row with OKC first half? After, I don't even know what the halftime score was. I know they lost to Minnesota straight up. I forget what the halftime score was, but they hadn't performed first half real well last couple. Maybe they get it here. I worry for the Memphis guards, Skee. I mean, you take a look at that starting lineup, and it's Cam Spencer and Cedric Coward, with the defensive matchup of Kason Wallace and Lou Dort. That's tough for their guards. I could see Oklahoma City turning them over here. They usually always have enough where depth is concerned. They're going to be down to about 8 tonight. But for the other side, I don't know, man. It doesn't look like a heck of a lot of scoring coming from that backcourt. Ja was terrific the other night as far as assisting and scoring. Without him, Cam Spencer's not necessarily a playmaker. The UConn shooting guard is basically a shooting guard. He's not really a starting point. So I think he might get harassed by OKC. I could see OKC getting the job done early here, Skee, honestly, and then just taking a break, maybe with SGA, who doesn't play fourth quarters in routes anyway, for the most part. He sits the bench in fourth quarters. But if I were to look OKC, I think I could look early, especially off of the loss to Minnesota. There's just a certain mentality and focus about that team where they'll likely care right off the bat against Memphis, where I don't know, Memphis will probably care too, but I don't like that backcourt matchup whatsoever, offensively or defensively. I mean, I'm looking here to find out who in the world is going to stop SGA from scoring points without fouling him.
Yeah, maybe first is there first half team totals for some of these? Maybe first half, damn, 64, 60. I mean,
They don't want us.
wow.
They don't want.
They don't want our money tonight.
No.
They don't want it because this is kind of steep. Or maybe they're just, I mean, yeah, saying we're going to have to pay because I still think they can get there, but it's just, I'm going to have to think twice at these numbers. All right. Keep going down the list here. What up, Guillermo? Shout out to my guy right there. Hope all is well. Next game up, we have Magic and Warriors. Opened up Warriors -5. Looks like 5.5. Totals come down from 229.5 to 227.5. Seth Curry and Al Horford will not see the court tonight. For Orlando, you have Franz and Mo Wagner both out. Castleton out. Suggs is doubtful. And then you have De Silva questionable. I mean, pretty big injury report for this Magic team. First of a back-to-back for them. Coming off of an overtime game versus the Jazz. Okay, Vino. I've been thinking about this all morning, really. Warriors, I mean, I'm gonna be more specific. I mean, yes, the Warriors, but probably 75% Steve Kerr, I don't trust. Like, if you tell me I can go coach the team and put the players I want on the court, I'm gonna go run to the window and back the Warriors on the spread tonight. Right. But having to play lineup roulette with Steve Kerr, I don't know if I'm in for that. I'm into that, But I don't believe, like, I do think they need wins. Obviously, they're below 500. Kerr was pissed before they won their last game. They're gonna be hungry to win. They're at home. And I just think this Magic team is a fade. Like I thought that they were a play in here, let me pull up their schedule. It was a game they were like, I think they were +5 or I don't know. Whatever. I'm looking at their schedule. God, lost by double digits to the Nuggets, lost by double digits to the Knicks. Struggling with Utah with no marketing in overtime. I want to fade this. The injury report. I want to fade this Magic team. The line, slightly going towards Golden State. I think it's going the right way. I think we take the Dubs tonight. What do you think here, Rob Veno?
Well, they did help me cash the other night. I tried the Golden State Phoenix because they just played that back to back against them. The first game was like 99-98 last week. And so I played it over the second time around, and they both shot well, and it did get well over. So we cashed that ticket. Could be a little bit of a springboard for Golden State. There was some, we talked about the Steve Kerr stuff last week. Last year of contract, maybe he's checked out, et cetera, et cetera. His lineups, his rotations make no sense. He schedules losses for this team. It is what it is. But I'm not sure that this will be one here. It's bad enough not to have Franz Wagner out in your lineup. But then when they take Suggs out of there, they become a little bit of a different team. Jalen Suggs really is, the more I see of Orlando, a key to the ignition for that team. And substituting him for Anthony Black, who's not necessarily the same point guard whatsoever. Tristan Da Silva, more defensive oriented than offensive. I don't know. I just think those two pieces out of their starting lineup limit them a little bit. Whereas the other side could, like I said, that could be a springboard game. So if I had to play, I would play Golden State. I'm not sure. I don't know. 227.5 always looks appealing in modern day NBA, but I don't know that I could get there with the over there either. I think if I had to, I'd probably be on Warriors side, and probably no look at the total. The more I think about it, just Warriors.
We're in agreement on that. They did let us know in the chat that marketing will play tonight.
So 251, here we come.
Hey man, you can see it at a nice 300-point game tonight. Yeah, definitely gonna have to take a look at that. Spread is coming down, total's not moving. Maybe the total was already adjusted for. I don't know. But next game up, we have last game in the NBA, Blazers and Pistons. Open up -4.5 for the Pistons. Looks like 6, even 6.5's out there. Total came down from 238 as low as 234.5. Duran is probable. Holland is questionable. Jeremy Grant is questionable for this Blazers team. Still no Scoot, Drew, Tybalt, or Wesley. Let me just make sure this is no injury reports for this game. No, it's not. This has been the Blazers' role. I mean, they've covered every game as a home dog. They have looked okay lately, but they played some bums. They played, I think, the Kings twice. At the same time, this Pistons team, I don't think they've looked so great in their last 3 road games. They might have lost them all, or maybe they just didn't cover them. But I think it's Blazers or nothing for me in this game, Rob Veno. Any thoughts from you here?
Well, there is a huge disparity, right? I think we talked about the Blazers from the other perspective last week as a home favorite. They haven't covered a single game as a home favorite. They didn't cover that night. I think they beat Sacramento by 1 or 2. Sacramento didn't have Zach LaVine. And yet, as a home underdog, they do the job almost every time. I have difficulty betting against Detroit. The way they've been playing this year. Blew Charlotte out the other night. I think that was probably to be expected. In fact, now that I look at my own spreadsheet here, I had played Detroit the other night, laying 10.5 to Charlotte based on the fact that Charlotte had scored those 80 points in the first half against Atlanta the game before. And I just didn't think Charlotte was coming back with that type of shooting effort. They didn't. Detroit wins by 26, had one at Boston a couple of games before that. 3 covers in their last 4. I don't want to bet against the Portland ATS trend as the home dog, But I don't want to bet against the Pistons either because it's another team like OKC that just seems to be focused night in, night out. They had that little spell where they weren't playing well, but seem to have picked it up a little bit lately. So for me, it's probably a no play total wise. Portland's been pretty much an overplay for me. Here we're looking at that was high 238. I guess the people who came first got the better of the number. 234.5 now. Makes you think a couple of times, but I probably won't play Skee because I like, sometimes you don't like either side and you wish they weren't playing each other. This case, I kind of like both sides and wish they weren't playing each other. So I'll let it go.
Fair enough. We do have a little bit of a Monday nighter football, and the Lions. I mean, it did move from the opener. Opener was what, 5.5 or 6. We're looking at 4.5 right now. I mean, different numbers depending where you shop. I see a 4.5 and I see a 5.5. So obviously, make sure you line shop depending what side you like. Total of 46 here, Rob. I'm going to pull up the schedule, but off the top of my head, the first thing I think here, Phillip Rivers. What are we going to get from my guy, my old Charger? I feel like he played pretty well in that last game. I mean, as far as the circumstance, he played pretty well. And I think he can. It's repeatable. Like, I don't think he necessarily has to do too much in this game. 49ers, that's a team I don't know how much I necessarily trust. They've been so inconsistent to me all season. I know the Colts kind of crashed maybe when was it when the quarterback went down? But Colts are a team that's still not out of it yet, right? And have a good defense. They have a good O line. I think they can run the ball. I think the defense can play well. I think the Colts can stay in this game. And if they're running the ball, I mean, I don't think we're going to. Phillip Rivers can't push the ball downfield. So if I'm thinking like that, I would have to think under 46 as well. Any thoughts on this game, Rob Veno?
Well, I mean, your last 35, 40 seconds there pretty much are my exact thoughts here. A couple of things. First off, let's say this. Indianapolis offensive line is upper echelon as far as NFL offensive lines are concerned. There's no doubt about that. And if you needed any more evidence that the offensive line is really good, all you have to do is look to last week's game against Seattle, who has a defensive front and a run-stopping front that's as good as any you can get. And really, Phillip Rivers was protected nicely in that game, Skee. Now, San Francisco has nowhere near the ability of Seattle to stop the run or get to the passer. So you would think the O-line at home this time, not in Seattle, would protect Rivers really well. Hand off to Taylor. Let's open some holes, get that thing going. And I agree with you, too, that, what we saw the other day kind of indicates that they just want to throw checkdowns, short passes. Rivers is accurate, but not a strong arm quarterback. I don't think that a week of practice is going to help Phillip Rivers launch these 40-yard verticals. Although I'm sure that, in that Indy playbook, they wish they had him because San Francisco saw the tape last week. And I would imagine they're going to all be within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. This guy can't push it. We're going to cover guys tight. We're going to make tackles as soon as they catch the ball. Seattle wound up doing that in the second half last week, and it got them back in the game, and they actually got them to win. So all that being said, I'll just close it with the other part of your thought, which was Indianapolis defense played superb against Seattle last week. They were great, held Seattle to 18 points, 6 field goals. San Francisco's only asset this year, and the reason why they are where they are, has been that offense. And if the Colts slow it down even a little bit, 46 just seems too high to me, to tell you the truth. I think Indy has to find a new way to win games. I think they figured that out last week. Hey, we can win these low-scoring games. We came to Seattle, lost 18-16. That's as good as it gets. We can go home now and beat San Francisco low-scoring. So I think that the philosophy's changed for Indy. I would look under. Hopefully you don't get beat by, defensive scores and crazy stuff. But if the game goes as you would blueprint it, I think it chews clock and gets under 46 points here.
Yeah, so we're pretty much in agreement on this game. Um, yeah, just looking at that should be the game plan for the Colts to run the ball. I mean, looking at the 49ers, the Titans were running on them, the Browns were able to run on them. I
Right.
think the Panthers were too. It's just, yeah, I agree. I agree, Rob Veno. So that's the slate for today. Let's see, what can we do? Gotta throw some stuff up promo wise. I haven't double checked, but I know this should probably still be good. Full court all access pass, 3 days of NBA and college basketball for only $49. That is a good one. Vino, I don't want to get in trouble here. So I'm just gonna I'm just gonna leave it at that for right now. And I'm gonna pass it to you and ask you if there's anything else you'd like to promote. If you have a best bet for the show, we'd love to hear it. If you don't, all good.
Yeah, real quick, I'll just one more time because here's where we get into a huge amount of college football. 6-1 college football, 7 plays over the weekend. Usually heats up this time of year. There is a bowl package available. As these games go by, guys, they reduce the rate. I think it started 169, came down to 129. Go ahead and check wagertalk.com. You get a really good discounted price on what's, I don't know, 34, 35 bowl games, playoff games, FCS championship game that's left. So I would leave you with that. College football has been really, really good lately, and you can get a good reduced price all the way through the national championship. Best bets. I came in here, Skee, prior to when we went on and told you that I really wasn't thrilled with much of anything here. But as usual, when we talk these games out, something winds up standing out to me. And what winds up standing out to me here is this Charlotte team total. I will preface it by saying I didn't release this as a client play yet. I haven't bet it yet, but I'm going to go ahead and play this game. So therefore, I'll release it as a best bet for this show. The team total is 114.5 for Charlotte. Great shooting game against Atlanta, followed up by an 86-point effort. You know me, I'm always big into bounce backs. Going to play with pace. Cavs give it up. Even if the Cavs win the game, they're liable to give up 115. So for me, best bet for the show, top of the card, Charlotte Hornets, team total over 114.5.
Good stuff from Rob Veno. Man, like I said on the top of the show, I really want to take my time to make my best today. It's a lot that I like. I just don't want to push the button too early and we get some more of this injury report nonsense. I have 7 games on my short
It
list
is
here.
Christmas.
Yeah, some people don't want to play. And some people are ready to just go. I just don't want to be on the wrong side. So I have 7 plays on my short list. I'm probably gonna, shore up all my plays around between 2 and 3 p.m. Closer to the tip off as I can get. We're still giving some people some time to follow. So I'm not gonna leave a best bet today. Tomorrow we still have a big slate. Maybe I'll be able to get to the window earlier and maybe give you guys 2 best bets for tomorrow. But I did give you all of my opinions, what I'm liking, and if you want to follow my best bet for tonight, my top play. My 4% and higher. I've hit 14 of 19 lately. I do have a 5% tonight. So, Vino, always say I appreciate you taking the time to break these games down with me. Helps out my process. I'm sure it helps out everybody else as well. And people in the chat, we appreciate you. Just good people, good energy, good cappers. Everybody sharing information, trying to win. That's what I'm about. That's what we're about over here. So best of luck, everybody, on all your action. We'll be back again tomorrow.